No bots, no follow unfollow method, no like groups. This is a genuine strategy that works, and you can absolutely do it in a month, but it will take a lot of work. You're gonna have to hustle, but you can do it. Hello there YouTube people, I am Ethan, and today I am going to show you how you can get 1,000 or more engaged followers on Instagram. We're going to be focusing on personal brands, professionals, small businesses, e.g. fitness instructors, designers, artists, photographers, consultants, health experts, educators, entrepreneurs, etc. But these marvelous tactics can be used on your own personal page to grow as well, and on the themed pages that are very popular on Instagram. I've broken it down into 5 not so simple steps. Some of them are quite convoluted, but I have broken them down to these 5 steps for you, and at the end I've got 3 extra spicy bonus tips for you to accelerate that growth. Kind of like taking a hot air balloon up a mountain. It's not as fast as a helicopter, but it's sure better than climbing. Okay then, let's get into this. Okay, so Step number one. You need to make sure your content is on point. Okay? That means it needs to be looking fantastic. Looking absolutely spot on. Nice and themed. Your individual posts need to be great, but also your page, your whole screen. It needs to feel like one whole theme. You need to make sure you're talking only about one subject as well in your page, right? So not only does it need to look great, it needs to be topical. You need to be inside of a niche. Don't be posting about random things. Pick your favorite subject and just post about that. Whatever it is you're trying to do with this brand, don't be posting here, there, and everywhere and about your day and your coffees and your food. Nobody cares. Just focus on the one thing that you're trying to grow here. Niche down. And then inside of your profile, you need to make sure your bio is great. It tells them who you are, what value you provide, and why they should want to follow you. Give them a reason to click that follow button. Don't just be having, hey, I'm cool, sell them on clicking the button. They've got 4 lines which you can use. Tell them who you are, what you do, what value you provide to them, how you do that, and why you are an authority on this matter. And with your profile pic, you need to be using a person, as in yourself. You need to use yourself. Unless you are a business which can maybe use a logo or something. But if you are a personal brand or a small business, use somebody's face. And you need to be able to see their eyes and their mouth. People trust people that we can see. It makes it a connection with them, make it personal. They're more likely to engage if they feel connected to you. Number 2, you need to make sure your content is valuable. That means fantastic posts. Make sure every single thing that you are posting is worth posting. High valued content to your audience. Only post high valued content. No low valued crap. You need to look at every single thing that you post and be like, is this valuable to my audience? If it is not, do not post it. And you can do posts and videos, and then really you want to be using a lot of carousels. Carousels are great because they allow you to tell a story. They allow you to communicate so much more than just what you can do with one image. And they are a really creative way of using Instagram's platform at the moment. And I'm going to show you a few pages which you can follow. You can have up to 10 slides. And there's a YouTube video by Christo from the Futur, which if you're into business, you should all be following. Probably the best business channel to follow. It's about design, but it's business design. Best business channel to follow on YouTube, hands down, I think. Christo is fantastic. Anyway, there's a video about how to do carousels. So you want to follow Christo on Instagram and watch that video. I'll link them both below. And also follow this guy called Dave Tallis. I'm gonna put it on the screen for you. And he really goes step by step how to do your hashtags, how to do all this strategy, how to use these things. These are going to be your two biggest resources. Like after you've watched this video, go find those people. And if you want to have an idea of what your page should like, check out this guy called Dane Walker. He has a fantastic feed with fantastic posts, fantastic bio, fantastic everything. His page is on point, the content is valuable, it is what you should be trying to go towards. Aim for something like this. Nice, color themed, everything matches, fonts match, images match, everything feels cohesive. And tell it from your own voice. Don't just be regurgitating somebody else's opinions and facts. Put your own personal expertise and opinions into it. Don't just repost other people's content. That is not valuable. You need to be in your descriptions, have great long descriptions, explain the post, etc. What your thoughts are about making it. They can be long. People actually do read these things. It does make it more engaging for the people who become your fans. Have a bit of, it doesn't need to be an essay, but don't just have like one line. Ask them for CTAs, call to actions in there, like, post, share, etc. Comment. Make the comments engaging, ask them a question, and then to get them their opinion on matters. Don't just be like if you thought it was great, get them to want to share their opinion with your comments. And to make the carousels, I use Photoshop and Keynote. Keynote was like PowerPoint for Mac users, but the tools don't really matter as much as the results you're after. You can use Canva, which is a great free online tool if you don't know how to use Photoshop. GIMP is like a free Photoshop as another alternative there, and use PowerPoint if you want to. It doesn't really matter how you make the carousel slides, just go out and do it. Think of the first image on the carousel, like the thumbnail on YouTube. This is going to inspire them to want to click on your video in the hashtags or on your carousel. It's going to inspire them to want to scroll through and read it. And the last page on it should be like a call to action. Again, you're going to be trying to make them want to like and share and comment on your last page and give them inspiration, a thought, the lesson. Number 3, you need to do hashtag buckets. Dave Tallis has a fantastic post about this, and actually the carousel and everything, and he even wrote a blog about it, and he's got a great course if you really want to go down that route. But you can use hashtag buckets. Hashtag buckets means you are splitting up the size of your hashtags into different sized audience depending on how big and small your profile is. But when you're under 1,000, you need to be using 20 small hashtags. That means under 300,000 followers. If you go too small, like under 50k, forget it, it's too small. You need to be doing 50k to about 300,000 followers, and then from 10 that are from 300,000 to 1 million. When over, you can use the rest of this sheet. I'm not going to go through every single thing on here. Come back to it. It's on Dave Tallis's Instagram. You can go find it there. Come back to this video if you cannot. And you just scale up these hashtag buckets as you grow. And that's how you get bigger and bigger. You start in the smaller hashtags and you leap into the bigger hashtags as you expand. This is the hashtag strategy. And there are some tools for finding great hashtag sets. And you don't just want to be using the ones that every single person is using. There's one called IQ hashtags and FlickTech and Smart Hash. I've used IQ hashtags and Smart Hash app both. They're pretty good at finding you some hashtags that you wouldn't think of to use. So I would recommend using those in your posts. Use them. I'm not going to explain how to use them here. You can find that out for yourself, but they'll come up with better hashtags than you could just by yourself. And you need to really keep testing your hashtags. Don't just find your set. Keep going through them. The goal with hashtags is to try and get into the top 9 posts. Each hashtag has a top 9 and then it has recent. And you want to be in the top 9. That is the goal at this stage of this growth pattern, is getting into the top 9. It's difficult, it's rare for you to happen, because you have to get a load of likes really quickly and comments and engagement to get in there. But when you do, that's when you gain a load of followers. So if you can get into the top 9, that's your goal. And you do that, many times, that's when you start to grow at a rapid rate. So you're going to be switching up your hashtags until you find winning sets, and then you keep on switching them slightly to improve your hashtag sets and getting your posts constantly in those top 9 spots. Okay, over halfway there now. There's a lot of information. Let's just take a quick breath and get ready for the next step. This is the most important step by far. Do not skip this one. If you do, you will trip and you will die. Well, your page will die, you won't die. But if you cannot skip this step, it is vital to succeeding. And stay tuned for those spicy bonus tips coming your way at the end. Okay, number 4. This is the big one. The most important step. Make sure you do this step. This is where you hustle. Interact with other users on the platform a lot. You want to go to find other pages like the page that you're trying to make, but other pages that are slightly bigger than your page. So if you've got 100 followers, maybe you're looking at people who are around 1,000 or a couple of thousand. Don't be going for 100,000. They're completely different people who follow those types of pages. You want to go for smaller pages, right? Maybe around 1,000, 2,000. Find those people and go into their comment section. And in their comment section, you can go to the people that are commenting and go to those people's profiles, and you need to like and engage and comment on all of their pictures. Not all of them, but like a load of them. 3 or 4, you should be liking and leaving great comments. Great, not just, great picture, but like fantastic, insightful, opinionated discussions. Have conversations with them in the comments. Send those people messages. Be like, hey, I loved your profile. Great stuff. Keep it up. If it's genuine, don't be lying to them. Don't just be faking it. You need to be interacting with these people. A few of them are then going to come back and check your profile out. And if you are offering valuable content, they may be inclined to follow you back. You're going to be doing this a lot. At minimum, you should be doing at least 3 likes and 1 comment per page, but a bit more would be better. And if their page is absolutely fantastic, you should follow them. But not follow them so they follow you back. Follow them because you like what they are offering, you like the content they are making, and you want to follow that content. And so you follow them, and then every day you want to comment and like just to share your love of their stuff. Become a fan of those people that you find. And you want to be doing this to about 50 to 100 new people every single day. That is the hustling part. Finding those new people from pages that are similar to yours in their comment section and then interacting with those people. You can even interact with those pages that you find that are similar to yours. Send them messages. A lot of them will want to help support you, especially if you start conversations with them and follow them and interact with them. A lot of them will help you out, and if you're posting great content, they'll even give you shout outs and for free. So start becoming an active member of the Instagram community and real positive force in there. You can also comment on the hashtags if you want. Go into the hashtags, but not of the hashtags that you're posting on. Go and find what your audience would be posting. Where are the people that you want to target? What photos are they taking? And what hashtags are they going to be putting under those photos? Go find them there. So it's not your hashtags, but their hashtags that you need to find them. And go search for them there and then find accounts like that. That is actually a more difficult strategy, I find, but it is another way of finding people. If you running out from finding people in the comments, you can use hashtags. And you need to make sure your comments are all unique and valuable and genuine. If you are just spamming people saying with the same stuff every single time, the same type of comment, really short comments, just a few words, Instagram will shadow ban you. You have to be putting out genuine comments. It has to be done manually, and it has to be genuine and authentic and real. Don't just leave crap fake comments for the sake of it. Only put out brilliant comments when the posts deserve it. This is the hustling part. You're going out there and you're finding great people and you're interacting with them. Best if you can ask them a question that would get them to engage back, and that way you start a conversation with them, like a really great question, and they will then come back with you with an answer, and then you can reply to them with another question. And the more deeper you can get that conversation going, the more likely they will be to come and check you out and follow you. So really think about those questions that you're answering. And I can guarantee you, if you do this for 100 days, 100 days, you will have surpassed 1,000 subs easily. If you can get to 50 to 100 new pages every single day, you will have flown past 1,000 subs. Even with a bad page, you can get past 1,000 subs doing this, right? So think, when you have a fantastic page, you will fly past 1,000 subs in 100 days, which is like 3 and a bit months. Or whatever, it's like 3 months. Let's call it 3 months. 3 months, and you will have done there. But you should be able to get there much quicker than 3 months. You should be able at 10,000 in 3 months. Obviously, then you are replying back to all of the comments on your post, every single one. You need to reply back again, ask them questions to increase the likelihood that they will then reply back to your comment. And so you start a conversation in your comments. And if you do that with every single comment, then your engagement on your post increases a lot. And you get loads and loads of comments building up on your post. That increases your engagements, that increases the chance that you'll trend in the hashtags. You need to reply back to all messages, every single message that you get. Apparently Instagram prefers voice messages, but I don't know what difference it really makes. But use voice messages if you like. I do it quite a lot. But you can do the text ones and they are still fine as well. And video, just reply back to all of your messages and really interact with people. Become fans and make friends on this platform. Everybody seems to be so amazing, I found, over this last month or two doing this. They are incredible people and you can absolutely become their friends. Basically, be part of the community in a strong, positive way. It's the best thing about doing this, honestly, is you make and meet and interact with so many awesome people trying to do similar things to you, and you all just help each other out along the way. It's kind of like socializing for introverts, because you never have to leave the house. Step number 5 is consistency. You need to repeat yourself every single day. You need to be doing this non-stop for 90 days. This is the method to succeed. 90 days straight. As I mentioned before, I said 100 days, but it doesn't really matter. 90 days, 3 months. This is a book by Chris Do I just received. Pocket full of dough. Fantastic. Gonna be doing a book review on it soon. Look out for that. Go buy a copy and go follow Chris Do on the future. So good. So good. Everything on there is so good. Yeah, consistency is key. It is the most important factor. Be consistent. Don't stop growing. As you gain momentum, the more likely you will be to succeed. And once you get to about somewhere between about 3 and 5,000 followers, you will just take off. You will skyrocket. That's when Instagram starts pushing your page to a whole new level. So that's where you need to aim for. That's where you hustle to 3 to 5,000 subs, and then you just take off like that. You can see all these pages. If you go and study them, that's when their pages start to take off. It's very hard to get there. It takes a lot of work, but once you do, boom, you're flying. And really, in that 90 days, you should have well surpassed 1,000 subs. You should probably be 10 to 20,000 subs in that time. I've seen so many accounts, I'm going to show you a few here on the screen, that have gone way past their 1,000 subs into 10, 20, 30,000 in that 90-day period. So if they can do it, you can do it too. Yes, content has to be great. Yes, they may be designers and can do that, but there's no reason why you can't try and get that good. You don't have to be a designer, be an expert in the field that you're in, and just make amazing content there. it's really it is a lot of work. It is like 4 to 6 hours of work per day, making posts and commenting on all of these things. It takes time, it takes effort. So that's a lot of work you're going to be doing for 90 days. But once you have there, when you have like 20,000 followers, and this type of page, that's like a 6-figure salary basically from this type of page. Those smaller meme pages and themed page, or just a vlogger or something like that, or just like a travel vlog, they're not going to get as much money from this as what you will. Because you will have such an engaged audience and you deliver way more value, the money that you can make is substantial, even with a tiny audience. So you don't need to get to 100,000 or 1 million to actually make bank with doing this. And I mean, that maybe isn't the only reason why you should do it, but like 90 days of grinding, and that's a nice bonus at the end. Okay, so time for those spicy bonus tips I promised you. Here we go. Okay, the first one is, if you make great content, go and make great content that you make for other bigger pages than you. Like much bigger. You're talking like 10, 20, 30 times bigger than you. Go use your amazing carousels. It should really be a carousel. Make them a fabulous, fantastic, the best carousel in the world. Go make one of these for one of these bigger pages, and do it in exchange for them giving you a shout out and a tag and credit for making that post. And they will absolutely do that, if you've done this for them. But they're not necessarily going to agree to do it, but if they do, and a lot of them will, because you've just done a whole day's work of them for them basically. So it's a free post, and they're going to get a load of engagement and increase their followers, and you're going to increase your followers as they tag you in it. So it's a great way if you can do that. You need to make sure your page is on point before you do these things and you're making carousels at a really high level. But once you are there, absolutely start to use this as a factor. And design the carousels for them to fit into their page, not into your page. So just be aware you're designing for their page then, okay? Bonus tip number 2 is you can actually use some paid advertisements. Story ads on Instagram are really cheap. And if you know what you're doing with Facebook Ads Manager or Business Manager, you can easily get your cost per click down to under 10 cents, even in Western countries. So it's a really good value, cost per click. And if you're a business, you should absolutely be using ads to grow your page. Definitely be using ads and to gain leads, and because you'll be monetizing much quicker. If you're just creating a theme page, or your personal brand, or your brand for like you're a photographer or designer, you don't necessarily need to be spending huge amounts, but it is a good way for you to just get that ball rolling. You could just get a few hundred subs from doing it, and you could get them relatively cheap. You spend a few €100 and you'd have your 1,000 subs. So spend 50 quid and it just builds you that initial momentum to get the ball rolling. But do not use ads unless your page is amazing. Otherwise you'll just be throwing away money. Your page has to be fantastic before you should even consider it. So get your page and your content amazing, then run some ads. I've got a post on my page. Let's see how effective they were. And bonus is use Facebook's Creator Studio. Facebook Creator Studio. It's linked to Instagram, obviously. And you can post from there and you can see all your insights. It's really good. Really, really useful. Instagram doesn't really like third-party apps anymore, neither does Facebook, because of all the information leaks. It doesn't really matter. Don't use the other third-party apps, but do use their own one. And that saves you having to send it to your phone using Android Studio, and it's a bit of a hassle. You can just go directly from your phone from your computer into Instagram. And If you've got a linked Facebook page, which you should do for your business type thing and your brand, you can then reply back to all of your comments and messages through your linked business page. That's makes it much easier than having to do it through the phone. The internet is better through a computer screen. Obviously, you can work way faster. You can navigate far easier on a computer than you can on a phone. Doesn't mean don't do it on the phone. Absolutely do it on the phone. You should be engaging constantly all the time on the phone, but when you're at the computer, you can do it way faster. You can absolutely do this. Yes, it takes work, but you've got it. I believe in you. And if you do it every single day for 3 months, you will be flying.